Hey everyone, it's Marsha. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to show you just how easy it is to make creamy chicken marsala. So let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start off by prepping our chicken breast. So I have 2 regular sized chicken breasts, and I'm just going to go ahead and trim off some of the pieces that I don't want, and then I am going to cut my chicken breast in half horizontally. So you guys have seen me do this before on my channel where I cut my chicken breast in half, and that is just because I want even pieces. So no matter what I'm cooking, I do this often, and I just gently and carefully cut the chicken breast in half horizontally so I can end up with even pieces, because chicken breasts are thick and sometimes it's kind of hard to cook it when it's whole. You can, but this is just my own personal preference. But for this particular recipe, it's definitely recommended to do it this way. So take your time, be careful, and try to evenly cut each chicken breast in half so you end up with 4 chicken cutlets. Once I have 4 chicken breast pieces, I'm gonna just lightly season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. I don't want to use a lot because I am going to put some salt and pepper into my flour mixture as well, but I just want to make sure the chicken gets seasoned too, just in case some of that flour comes off while it's cooking. So I like to just season it a little bit with salt and pepper. Now it's time for our flour. So I have some salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder that I'm just going to mix in or stir into the flour mixture. And then I am going to dip each one of my chicken pieces into that flour just to coat it lightly. So you're not trying to get a heavy, thick coat. You just want to coat it lightly and dust off any excess flour. So I'm going to do that for all 4 pieces. And then once I have all 4 pieces coated in the flour, I'm just going to go ahead and set those chicken pieces aside while I get the rest of my ingredients prepped. Alright, now moving on to our skillet. So I have some oil already heated up in the skillet, and I'm just going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. So I love using a combination of oil and butter whenever I'm cooking something, just because it gives it extra flavor and it helps give it like a golden brown color. So you guys will often see me doing this as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and add those chicken pieces to the skillet. You wanna use a large skillet, that way you can fit all 4 pieces into one skillet and it cooks at the same time. So I have my skillet heated up on medium, and I'm just gonna go ahead and add all 4 pieces. So I'm gonna let that chicken cook on each side until it's done. So it takes about 4 to 5 minutes per side, and then flip it when it's time to flip it. And then just make sure you're taking your time. If your heat is up too high, it will burn your chickens. So make sure your heat is on medium or even medium low, depending on your stove or what type of skillet that you're using. That way you just take your time cooking your chicken breasts. Once my chicken breasts are cooked, I like to check the temperature to make sure they're done. So you want your chicken at 165 degrees. That way you know that it's fully cooked. After it is cooked, I will just add a little bit of aluminum foil on top of the plate so it stays warm while I cook the rest of the ingredients, which is really just the sauce. So I like to wipe up a little bit of that excess oil that came off of cooking the chicken, but not all of it, because we're gonna use some of it to cook our vegetables. All right, so you notice that I still left those brown bits into the skillet as well, because that is extra flavor. So we'll scrape that up later. But for now, just add you another tablespoon of butter, let that melt, and then add in your sliced mushrooms. And I just have some pre-sliced baby Bella mushrooms that I picked up from the grocery store. I prep those by just wiping them off with a damp cloth or paper towel, and just make sure you're taking your time with that too, just to make sure you get any excess dirt off of the mushrooms. You definitely don't want to wash it or drench it with water. You just kind of want to wipe it off with a paper towel. And as the mushrooms are releasing some of their moisture, I'm taking my time to scrape up some of those bits of brown pieces that came off of the chicken. And then I'm gonna add in some chopped mushrooms. So I already chopped these up off camera. And this is optional, you guys. You won't really see onions in a lot of traditional chicken marsala recipes, but I love the flavor that it gives the sauce. And once onions cook down enough, you really can't taste them. You really can't taste the bite of the onion that much. It's really more so for flavor. So now I'm gonna add in my minced garlic, and I would suggest using fresh garlic for this recipe. Then it's time for the star of the show, which is your Marsala wine. So I just picked up some Marsala cooking wine from my local grocery store, but if you are getting it somewhere else, make sure you get the dry Marsala wine and not the sweet one. So I'm just gonna stir that in, and then I'm going to add in my chicken broth. Chicken broth helps give this more flavor, and it helps make the sauce. So I'm gonna stir those two together, and then I'm gonna let all of this sauce simmer for about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, it is time to add in our heavy cream. So stir your heavy cream into the sauce mixture. This will help balance out the flavor of the Marsala wine and the chicken broth, and it'll help give the sauce a creamy texture. So let that cream simmer with the sauce for a couple of minutes, and then you're gonna go ahead and add your chicken breast, your cooked chicken breast, back into your skillet with that sauce. And now you wanna just let everything kind of simmer and marry together. And then I like to just kind of scoop some of the sauce over the top of the chicken breast just to make sure they're getting evenly coated. So I noticed that my sauce was a little bit too runny. I like mine to be a little bit thicker. So I made a quick cornstarch slurry, or you can use flour, to mix into my sauce. So just a little bit of cornstarch with a little bit of water, mix it together, and then stir that in, and that instantly thickens up your sauce. So now my sauce is just perfect, just the way I like it. So you see that I'm just making sure all the chicken is coated, and everything just simmers together for a couple more minutes, and then it's done, friends. You have an easy, delicious chicken marsala. So I love to top it or garnish it with some fresh chopped parsley. This is the curly parsley. And then that is it, guys. This is a really quick weeknight dinner meal, or if you want to make it for a party, it's perfect for that as well. I like to serve mine with my creamy garlic mashed potatoes. If you haven't seen that video, definitely check that out next, because this tastes amazing with those mashed potatoes. And that is it, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below along with the bell so you'll never miss when I upload a new recipe video. Until next time, I'll see you later.